Okay, so for this first question, it says find the area of the rhombus RHOM if RO is 10. So RO is this whole thing, and that's 10. And HM right here is this whole thing, and that's 12. So what is the formula for area of a rhombus? So both of y'all are right. You can write it either way. I don't care. You can either do 1/2 diagonal 1 times diagonal 2, or you can do diagonal 1 times diagonal 2 divided by 2. It is the same thing. The reason I'm sorry, that's ugly handwriting. The reason I prefer this way is because when you work backwards, it's easier for me. Doesn't matter which way you choose. Either way, what's one of my diagonals? 10. What's my other diagonal? 12. And then you can either do that in your head or put it in the calculator. What is 1/2 of 10 times 12? And the answer is 60. And I don't have any units, so it's okay yesterday on your quiz if you wrote nothing. It's okay if you wrote units squared. The next one, it says find the radius of the circle whose area is 81 pi inches squared. We literally did this problem yesterday with a different number. Do y'all agree? What's the formula for area of a circle? It is pi r squared. And then I'm going to plug in, I'm working backwards here. I'm giving you the area is 81 pi. How do I find the radius? How do I get r by itself? Cancel out the pi's, and then what? Square root. And what is the square root of 81? It is 9. So my answer here is 9. And it's inches. Again, I'm not going to count off if you didn't put that, but get used to putting your units, especially if you plan on going to K-level next year. By the way, that yellow paper is due today. Does anybody have it to turn in to me? Just bring it to me. You can turn it into your counselor or any teacher you want. I'm going to be turning them in today during 5th period. The yellow paper, if you wanted to change any of your schedule for next year. Yeah. If you're not changing anything, you don't have to turn anything in. You can, but you don't have to. Okay? All right, what I would now like you to do is, again, I'm not taking that warm-up up just because of STAR testing this week was really weird. So if you can just please put that warm-up in your back pocket and get out the notes I gave you. You can fold them like this. Today's notes, we are going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 examples. Glue this in, and then you have a practice, and we'll be done with today. Okay? Today we are talking about composite figures. The word composite figures is basically saying, if y'all can please shut your computers for me, because I want you to focus up top. The word composite figures, shut them, unless you have Desmos and Desmos only pulled up, I do not want to see your computer open. If I walk by and you don't have Desmos, I'm taking your computer. Shut it. The word composite figures, what it means is it's if you take multiple shapes and put them together. Do you agree this shape right here is not one of the shapes that was on our flip book with all the formulas? Do you agree this is not just a rectangle or just a trapezoid or just a parallelogram? What is it? It looks like, and it would be a square if these were the same, but are these the same? No. Yeah, so these are two rectangles put together. All right, and that makes an odd shape, but do you agree it's still two shapes together? So whenever we are doing area of composite figures, we are going to find the area of each shape and add it together. So let's write that down. And area of composite figures, let me see how I want you to write this. Let's write, I don't want you to, maybe I want you to create Separate the shapes. Okay, let's write separate. Separate, separate. AR. Okay. It just always looks weird. Okay, separate. First, you're going to separate the shapes. Then you're going to find the area of each. Write this down, please. And last but not least, you're going to add them together. Those are the 3 steps we are doing today. Separate the shape, find the area of each section, and then add them together. So if you're looking at example 1, what do you see? What shapes do you see? You see a rectangle, how, like,
cutting it from 10 to towards 3. Did you put a line?
Do you see the line vertical or horizontal? It doesn't matter, honestly. Okay. You see it horizontal?
Yeah, that'll be 2.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. And you go up and down. So it doesn't matter how you cut this shape. It doesn't matter how you section it. You should get the same answer. All right. I think I want to go up and down just because I like it better. But if you were to go horizontal, again, you're still going to get the same answer. So do you see, kind of box this right here with your pencil. Do you see this rectangle? What's the base of this rectangle? Or what shape is this, first of all? It's a rectangle, I just told you that. And what's the formula for a rectangle? Base times height. Y'all agree with that? What's the base of this rectangle? 14. What's the height of this rectangle? 10. And what is 14 times 10? And so I'm going to say area number 1. Did y'all say 140? Mm-hmm. Is 140. Now be careful. What about this other shape? Yeah, so be careful. Do you agree if this is 14, then right up top is also 14 of my orange rectangle? So if the whole thing up top is 25, how do I find the top of the green? What is 25 minus 14? So the top of this is 11. And if the top of that is 11, what's the bottom? 11. So I'm going to do this one separate because that's way too small to write inside. What shape is that? So what's my formula? Bless you. Base times height again. So we just said my base was what? 11. What is my height? And what is 11 times 3? 33. So the area of figure 2 is 33. Now what am I going to do to find the total area of this weird shape? Add it together. So I am going to add 140 plus 33. And what does that equal? 173 units squared. Y'all, have y'all ever seen a floor plan of a house? Y'all know what I'm talking about? No? Let me show you. If you've ever, I've been looking at buying a new house for years just because I like looking at houses. Goodness. If you look at a floor plan of a house, a lot of the times it looks like this, right? And that's how they calculate the whole square footage. Okay, these houses are all rectangular. That's just not realistic. Most houses are not perfectly shaped and perfectly rectangular. But this one right here, yeah. So, oh, well, this one, like this green is all outside. But you see how it's all funky and weird? So that's how they figure out how many square feet houses are to sell. Yep, you can open the door. They have to take the area of each section. Yeah, you can open it. The area of each section, and then they have to add it together. So, oh yeah, that one too with the pool. That looks like it's really expensive. Has a gym in the house, yeah. All right, for this next question, what do you see for my next question here? I see a rectangle and a triangle. Do y'all agree? All right, so I'm going to do the rectangle first right here. What is the formula for a rectangle? Base times height. So area equals BH. What is my base here?
5.
The top is 5. My bottom is also 5. What is my height here? 3. And what is 5 times 3? 15. This is actually a test question. What is my second shape? A triangle. Y'all, we forget very easily. What is the formula for a shape of a triangle? 1/2 base times height. Or you could say base times height divided by 2. Same thing. What is my base down here? This is why this is a test question, because y'all have to think about this. Yeah, the whole thing is 9 on the bottom. So what is 9 minus 5? 4. My base of my triangle is 4. Wake him up, please. Does everybody agree with that? Do y'all see how I just got that? What is the height here? It doesn't give you that either for the triangle. Why the 3? Because 3 is over here. Don't you all agree? Whatever this is, a rectangle, it's going to be the same over here. So that is 3. So it's going to be 1/2 4 times 3. Now what's 4 times 3? And half of that? This is 6. So it actually separated the shape for you. We found the area of each. Now what do we need to do? Add them together. What is 15 plus 6? 21 units squared is my answer. Are y'all feeling good about this? Like, does this seem like pretty easy? It's basically what we've been doing. You just have one extra step. What do you got to do? Add them together. Is it always going to be this easy? Let's open up, and I'm going to show you a little bit more complicated. Not that they're super hard, but a little bit more complicated problems. All right, I see a couple of people writing, so I'm going to give y'all a minute. All right, open up, please. Ooh, this one's fun. What do we see here? What's the first shape you see right off the bat? You see a semicircle. Well, do we have a formula for a semicircle? No. Yeah, a semicircle is just half of a whole circle, right? So I'm going to say the area of the first one. What is the formula for a circle?
Pi squared.
So I'm just going to do this real quick. It's half of a circle. So this is going to be 1/2 of pi r squared. Be careful. What is my radius here?
6. Not 3, because you cut 6.
Yeah, if this is 6, what's up top right here?
6.
Do y'all agree with that? But what is a radius? A radius is half. It starts in the middle and goes this way. So my radius would be 3. So 1/2 pi 3 squared. And just put that in the calculator. And when we put things in the calculator, what are we doing? What do we not do? Do not put pi. And what do I get? 4.5. So the first area is 4.5? Nope. 4.5 pi. What is my other shape? A square. And if you were to say a rectangle, you wouldn't be wrong because remember, a square is a rectangle. And what is our formula for a square? You can either write base times height, or what can you write? S squared. Either one of those is right. It does not matter. What's the base here? What's the height here? Or instead of 6 times 6, what's another way to write that? They're all the same thing. And what is 6 squared?
36.
And what am I going to do to find the total area? I'm going to add them. 4.5 pi plus 36.
You can add a normal number to a pi.
Everybody look up. You would leave it like this. Do you agree this one has a pi and this one does not? Do y'all agree with that? Because this one has a pi and this does not, this is your answer. You are done. If you have a pi in your answer, you're done. What if what?
Would it be wrong if you did add?
Okay, here's what would be wrong. If you in your calculator said 4.5 plus 36 and you said the answer was 40.5 pi, you would be wrong. Here's what is not wrong. If you were to put 4.5 pi plus 36 and give me a decimal like that, that's actually correct. So I actually, because you see how it says round to the nearest tenth right below it, I actually would also like you to write this answer is 50.1 units squared. If you are going to put it in the calculator for a decimal answer, you have to put pi. Yes.
But if we don't use the calculator, the answer is just basically another equation.
Yes. Yes. So let me say that again because you're absolutely right. If you have a composite figure with circles, your answer will be an equation. Yep. Yep. And I honestly prefer you to leave it like this because so many people do it wrong right here and they do this because they add them. They do 4.5 plus 36 and then they put 40.5 pi. Do you see how they're not the same thing? That's completely wrong. So I prefer you to just leave it like this right here, what we boxed first, and move on with your life. Okay? If you want to put pi in the calculator, you have to just put it right there. Don't add them together first. Are we okay with that?
Yeah.
All right. All right, next one. What shape do we see?
Square.
We see a little bitty square, right? Does everybody see this? So we'll talk about that. We see a little bitty square. I'm not going to write inside that. So my first shape, what's the formula for a square?
Oh,
Base times height or s squared, either one. What's the base here?
3.
What's the height here?
3.
And what's 3 times 3? 9. What else do you see here?
Is it not a triangle? I don't think it is.
You see a triangle? Do y'all see a triangle?
Is it
You could see multiple things here. I personally see a triangle as well. Do y'all? Or do y'all not? What do you see? You don't know what you see?
I don't know what else.
Okay, so let's break this down again. This is actually going to be 3 shapes. All right. So could I just draw the line right there and create a triangle?
Yeah.
Does that make sense to y'all? Do you see a lot more now than you saw before this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to be honest. This actually, without drawing that line, was a trapezoid. Did you see a trapezoid? Okay, so some of you saw it. If you saw the trapezoid, do the area of a trapezoid. However, a lot of you did not see that trapezoid. So if you don't see it, draw the line and make another shape. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. So now I have, what do you see on the bottom down here? A rectangle. I'm just going to kind of like color this green because DJ, you with me over there? All right, write this down. What is the formula for a rectangle? Base times height. Be careful. What is the base of this rectangle?
18.
Why 18?
Subtracting 3 from 18.
Yeah, be careful that you don't put 21. Do y'all remember that right down here, this base was 3? The whole thing is 21. So what is from right here to over there? That is 21 minus 3, which is 18. So my base is 18. What's the height of this little bitty thing?
Is it 3?
It's 3. And what is 18 times 3? 54. So my second shape has an area of 54. But what do we have this time? We have a triangle. Jordan, can you wake him up again? Sorry. DJ, write this down, please. My last shape is a triangle. What's the formula for a triangle? 1/2 base times height. What's the base of this triangle? Yeah, do you agree if this was 18, a rectangle right above it will also be 18? So 1/2, 18. What's going to be the height of this triangle? Why? Okay, so be careful. It's not because it's half, although it is half. If this bottom's 3, what is 6 minus 3? 3. So don't just think you're going to split that number in half. You're not always going to do that. Like you're subtracting this number from this number. Okay. So 3 was right. And so what is half of 18 times 3? Oh, we already have that right there. 27. So your third shape is 27. And what do I do here? Add them together. What is 9 plus 54 plus 27? 90? And this is meters squared. That one was a little weird, right?
Yeah. Wait, that one we just didn't answer right?
Correct, because there's no what? There's no circle. So the only time you're going to get an equation is when you have a circle, because a circle is the only one that's going to have pi. Does that make sense? Yeah. Just like on the front, were there any circles? Nope, so that's why we got straight up answers. Good question. All right, last one. Another test question. You okay? By the way, the 4 goes, I think, with this right here. I think that's a little confusing. What shape do you see?
Rectangle and 2 triangles.
A rectangle and 2 triangles. So let's do I like the rectangle first. Let's do the rectangle first. What's the formula for a rectangle? And do y'all agree? I mean, it doesn't matter which way it goes, but do y'all agree this is like kind of sideways?
Yeah.
What's the base and the height? 20 times 4 or 4 times 20. It doesn't matter which way you go. But what is 20 times 4? 80. And then what do we see? We see two triangles. Are these triangles the exact same? Yes. So for right here, for area 2, I'm going to do 2 times a triangle. What is my formula for a triangle? 1/2 base times height. So we're going to do 2 times 1/2 base times height.
Why can't you just solve for one and make it the same?
You could solve for one of them and then multiply by 2, right?
But why is it not the same answer? Like
Because if you just solve for this one, you could add it twice, is what I'm saying.
Like if you get 8, you put 8 for the other term?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's why I just put a times 2 up front. What's up? Yeah, don't they just cancel each other out? Yeah, they do. Yep. Because what does 2 triangles create? A rectangle or a square or a parallelogram. Exactly. We're going to get to that in just a second. What's the base here of this triangle? 4. So I'm going to talk about that in a second. I'm just going to write it all down first because I want to make sure everybody in here understands. DJ, you with me over there? Can you pick your head up? Can you write this down? Thanks, man. Here's the tricky part, and here's the part that everybody messes up on the test. What is the height of this triangle?
Would you subtract 20 from
Okay, so you said to do what?
Would you take
The whole thing's 32 and you want to subtract 20? Sure. So if I do 32 minus 20, what do I get? 12. Why are you dividing by 2? Because there's 2. Y'all do a very good job at subtracting. We forget to divide by 2. Because do y'all agree there's a height over here as well? So dividing by 2 gives us 6. That is the height. This height is 6 and this height is 6.
I'm confused. Why are you doing everything by 2 when the triangles are the same?
Because there are 2 of them. Do you agree there are 2 of them?
Yeah, but
Yeah, so like forget what I'm doing over here. Do you agree the whole thing is 32?
yeah.
And this part is 20. So when I subtract, how much is left? Just period. How much is left from 32? 12. But do you agree I have a triangle up top and a triangle at bottom? So what do I need to do?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Divide that. Does that make sense? So I have to divide it by 2 because 12 is left over, but 6 plus 6 is 12. If you were to do 12 and 12, that would mean 24 was left over. So yeah, be careful. All right, so now again, what I was telling her is you can either do one formula here, and add them together, or, because they're the same, multiply it by 2. So if I do what is 1/2 the base times the height, I got 12. But what did I need to do out front? Multiply by 2.
Don't you put your fingers in the 2?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, that did 2.5. That's why. I was like, what is it doing? So what do I get? 24. And what do I do last? Add them together. What is 80 plus 24? 104 units squared. We learn, in my opinion, we learned nothing new today. Did we still do the formulas that you had on your quiz yesterday? Yeah, absolutely. All we're doing is just combining them. All right, if you can please go to your notebook and add this to page 65. Did everybody write that down? I see a couple people writing, so I'm going to wait. We're adding this to page 65. I'm going to come around and bring some glue in just a second. And we're going to call this composite figures. Yep, 65, composite figures. Oh, y'all might not have been here on Tuesday. We glued in, Monday, the formula. I'm gonna have them share with you in just a
Oh, I
second.
didn't.
Oh, okay, perfect. No, I'm gonna have you keep it just because of star testing. I'm not gonna collect it. Bless you. Bless you. All right. And then you have the rest of the class period. There are 4 questions you are going to answer, and then you're done for the day. What do you want to choose? Yes. All right. Again, you have the rest of the class period to complete these 4 questions and then turn them in.